Hello everyone, today is Wednesday, August 8th, 2018, and welcome to today's video. We will be discussing the chaos that happened on the Long Island Railroad last night, and of course heading into the day today. We have very good news on the weather regards to this awful heat wave we are stuck in at the moment. As of right now, it's 2 o'clock here at Long Island Jewish as I'm filming this, and looks like at the moment it's not raining. It's sunny out. Most likely we'll probably see showers, pop-up showers, probably around 4 or 5 o'clock from what I'm going to predict. So of course, the next segment, of course, we will discuss today's issues with the Long Island Railroad. Possibly, if I have to add New Jersey Transit, we'll add that. And of course, the weather. So without further ado, let's go to my computer screen. Topics at hand today in this video will include the weather update for 4 o'clock today in the New York area, Long Island Railroad issues that took place last night and going into this morning, and of course, an interesting exclusive article released by the Associated Press today regarding the canceled trains on New Jersey Transit. So let's go to the weather first. Here are the current conditions right now in the Fresh Meadows area as of 4:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It is 90 degrees with the heat index of 98. The dew point right now is at 72 degrees. Very unbearable again. The humidity is at 56%, so a little bit noticeable drop, but it's still hot, humid, and miserable today. There is wind again. I did notice it, but it really wasn't as noticeable as yesterday. So we'll quickly take a look at the hour by hour. Looks like today the rain chances are gone at the moment. So we're going to quickly check the radar via Intellicast. So we'll pull it up right now. Or can look at it. Doesn't take that long to load the radar. So I figured it would be appropriate to play it and see if we have any chance of rain at the moment. Looks like there's one band of rain trying to get into the Delaware Valley right now. So Philadelphia could see some rain later on this afternoon, heading into the early evening hours. There is a chance that this band right here could dump some rain into, let's say, Westchester, but it looks like at the moment New York City may not see any rain at the moment compared to what we dealt with last night. We are going to Google now the public information statement. Public information statement. This is how you can look it up, so we'll do a little tutorial. NWS New York. See if anything comes up. So let's see if we can get the PIS. So here are the rainfall totals from yesterday. North Merrick got 4.73 inches of rain. Uniondale got 2.57. Wantagh got 2.11, Franklin Square 2.03. The further east you went, technically, the less rain you got. This report is correct. I had a friend who contributed to this report as she was seeing the thunder and lightning in her area in North Merrick, so that's her area. I want to thank my friend for... She actually somewhat contributed to this, because I know she was mentioning it to me that somebody was asking her, how much rain did you see? And you said it was soaking. And yeah, pretty much here in Queens, we noticed it too. Surprisingly, Little Neck only got 0.74 inches of rain. Yeah, but this is correct. Belrose got 2.07. I'm going to say here in Fresh Meadows, we at least got 1.5 inches of rain. So I'm trying to see if the Central Park report is available. Looks like Central Park, the observatory, didn't issue anything. We'll quickly take a look and see if there's one more statement regarding the spotter reports. Take a look right now. Yes, this is pretty much the same thing. Nothing Nothing too relevant at the moment. I'll see if 351 gets updated again, and if it doesn't want to load, then we'll just have to move on to the hour by hour and see if we can get anything. So at the moment, looks like we're not getting anything. Let me just close out of this. So take a look at tomorrow as an example. So the dew point will still be unbearable tomorrow, but during the day, it's going to drop. That's the good news. During the day tomorrow, the dew point will drop. So pretty much, I would say, after 10 o'clock tomorrow and around noon, 1 o'clock, you will notice that it will be a little more comfortable being outside tomorrow in the New York area. The high for tomorrow is scheduled to be at, if I'm correct, I apologize about that. So the high tomorrow is scheduled to be near 89 degrees with the real feel in the low 90s. But remember, the humidity will drop tomorrow, and looks like we may have a comfortable evening on our hands tomorrow. Same with Friday, but it looks like over the weekend, going into next week, it may rain. So before I move on to mass transit, we will take a look at the weather for Ocean City, Maryland, because of course I am heading there on Saturday, so that's very important right now. Quickly want to mention the Phillips's Crab House is saying 90 degrees right now. They must have their thermometer in the sun, because it is humid there today, but there is a breeze. So it's 93 today. Wow. So this is what I am concerned about the next couple of days in the peninsula. There might be a lot of chances available for rain going into the week, but they're saying that Wednesday and Thursday will be clear most of the day. So it is possible that any given time starting on Saturday going into Tuesday, are we going to have chances of a thunderstorm? I don't know, because I'm getting nervous about Sunday for one reason, and that is because I don't want Sundays in the park to be canceled. So let's just double check to see if Sundays in the park is still going on for this Sunday. I know it is, but we'll double check. Alright, so this week, front page news, a rock tribute band is supposed to be performing at 7 o'clock this Sunday night. I will, of course, be at Northside Park this Sunday to watch the music, of course. And, of course, my main concern at 9 o'clock is the fireworks. Are the fireworks still going to take place, and is it going to rain? That's a good question, because if you remembered, when I was there in June, remember this Crisfield got rained on, but when I was in Bethany Beach, Delaware, when I was having dinner with my parents that night, my question is, is it going to come here? And it didn't. Well, the problem is, I'm actually having guests with me in Delmarva on Sunday night. They were supposed to come watch the fireworks with us. So, my question is it going to rain on Sunday? Let's just check and we'll move on to mass transit. Okay, so pretty much any given time on Sunday, it looks like Sunday night may be clear. But remember, pretty much all day Sunday, and if you are going to Northside Park, I would advise to bring an umbrella if possible if you are going to Sundays in the park on Sunday night, because I will have an umbrella with me. If it does start raining, I'll probably go back to my condo and be disappointed, because honestly, I want to see some fireworks. And these fireworks are supposed to go on until September, so they do this every Sunday night in the summer. I don't want to get disappointed. I really don't. So that's the weather update very quickly. So now we'll talk about Long Island Railroad news, and then we'll talk about New Jersey Transit. So here's what happened last night. We have more in-depth information that came in earlier this morning, believe it or not, in the wee hours at 12:36 a.m. So here's how Newsday reported it. A lightning-heavy storm took a toll on the Long Island Railroad on Tuesday, possibly causing a power substation fire that forced crews to work overnight to reduce any impact on the Wednesday morning rush hour, authorities said. The substation, just west of the new Hyde Park station, caught fire around 8:20 p.m. last night, August 7, 2018, forcing the LIRR to suspend service for more than 2 hours on the Oyster Bay, Huntington, Port Jefferson, and Ronkonkoma branches, the Long Island Railroad said. However, during this chaos, I'm going to have to say chaos for a good reason, pretty much none of the trains going to Atlantic Terminal were affected that much. What happened was the trains that were going between Atlantic Terminal and Hempstead, apparently the situation was, I'm going to say this correctly, there were a few minor delays on the Hempstead branch last night during this. Okay, Wednesday morning rush. We're expected to run under close schedule as the crews made repairs overnight. The railroad tweeted after 11:30. Alright, so the crews were going to be at critical locations. The chief fire marshal for Nassau County, Michael Uderetto, said, lightning may have hit the power plant and caused the fire. Firefighters had been waiting for the power to be shut before trying to put out the flames, Mr. Utaro said, and a hazmat crew was also on standby at the plant located on 3rd Avenue and South 9th Street. So pretty much this incident happened west of the station. And I can confirm that because Pine Power LI did a video about it. He was on one of the affected trains. He took the Oyster Bay train from Jamaica last night. He was on a C3 diesel, and apparently the C3 diesel really didn't need that third power anyway, but remember, it's a diesel train, but you gotta realize something. This didn't happen anywhere near Merlon Avenue. So, I'm glad I can report on that. But I spoke to my supervisor today from my department at Long Island Jewish, and I can confirm, this is a real report, that her and apparently other staff members near my near one of the buildings I work at apparently smelt the smoke from Long Island Jewish last night. She was actually on campus at Long Island Jewish at 8:30 last night. This is my main supervisor for my department. I have other supervisors in the building that, make sure I'm doing my work in the office, but with regards to that, this is a report from my main supervisor. So, believe her, she was there last night, and she smelled the smoke. So, pretty much the smoke was spreading to Long Island Jewish last night. PSC and GLI workers were at the scene at 8:15 last night to cut off power and made sure the area was safe for Long Island Railroad workers and firefighters to do their jobs. Other details on the fire were not immediately available. Weather-related signal problems also prepared the branches not affected by the new Hyde Park fire. All but the Port Washington branch and the Long Island Railroad system reported delays. The railroad warned of delays up to 20 minutes due to the signal problems. At about 11:45, service was restored on all the branches, but riders were warned delays up to 2 hours were possible on the branches affected by the fire. The problems came as storms rolled across Long Island, flooding streets and possibly causing several house fires, primarily in Nassau County. No serious injuries were reported, the authorities in Suffolk and Nassau County said. Honestly, you can't blame the railroad for what happened, but I will admit something here. Philip Bing was a scaredy cat last night because he didn't want to send out any buses out to Long Island to help people last night. You didn't see Pine Power's video last night? He had to tell people that take nice bus, take nice bus. No. People were too afraid to take nice bus. Alright? And this morning, there was another problem that Pine Power covered. So here's what happened. There was signal trouble near the new Hyde Park station thanks to the chaos from last night. And service was back on the main line around 1 o'clock. This affected Ronkonkoma, Port Jefferson, and Oyster Bay trains. There were delays of more than an hour and a half. And multiple trains were canceled during on-peak service. And I was hoping the railroad would get their act together for on-peak service. John also did a video when on-peak service started in Mineola. Because apparently, thanks to this mess, and thanks to him being stuck on the Long Island Railroad last night, what happened was, I'm going to say this morning, there were police there for crowd control. Because they didn't want people getting off the trains. And honestly, again, there was a supervisor from the MTA. Why wasn't she telling people to take nice bus? If MTA Long Island bus was still around, they would have been telling people to take Long Island bus. No. We have nice bus. And we didn't know what you're taking a private operator. Yeah, well, they still take Metro cards. My goodness. And FYI, there actually are a few places. I think there's a coffee shop by the train station that actually sells Metro cards in Mineola. So people could have gotten Metro cards, and they could have gotten on the N22 or the N24 to get them over to Jamaica and get the subway. And pretty much, I noticed for a fact, you can take the F and go to Herald Square. If you need to get to Penn Station, guess what? It's only like a 5-minute walk. This is what you get with this railroad, huh? There's a problem due to a power outage in the area. There's signal trouble. You can't make this stuff up. Remember, it made it impossible to control switches from New Hyde Park Station to East of Merlon Avenue. This is just too much for me to read. It really is, because I do want to talk about what happened on New Jersey Transit. And look at this. There were actually delays on the Hempstead and Long Beach lines, too, because of this. But guess what wasn't affected? The Babylon branch. Oh, get this. The Babylon branch was affected, too. Railroad reported a down utility pole earlier this morning near Lawrence and Queens, and trains on the Babylon and West Hempstead branches have been temporarily bypassing St. Albans. So pretty much Babylon had problems, too, because of this. And guess what wasn't affected? That's right, the branch I want to live on. The Port Washington branch. Because they're giving us the PTC on the Port Washington branch. Talking about this railroad really makes me stressed, but that's what you get with chaos. And look at this. People were on a packed train. Last thing we're going to talk about is New Jersey Transit. And what happened on New Jersey Transit? Well, we're going to talk about it. Here's what happened. Inside an air-conditioned conference room earlier today, New Jersey Transit board members got an earful from commuters and rail advocates frustrated by dozens of last-minute train cancellations while out of the sweltering heat, more rail riders suffered another day of misery. Dozens of trains have been canceled in the past 2 weeks, many at the last minute because of engineer shortages caused by required track safety work and exacerbated by a spike in unexcused absences. Although officials said there was searching for answers in a variety of directions, refunds and discounts were not being considered. Diane Gutierrez Scott said, "We have not at a board level have any conversations about doing any types of refunds or discounts. There's stuff coming from multiple directions and we're doing the best we can. We are working as hard as we can to do as much as we can within the confines of what we have available to us." Several more trains were canceled earlier this morning, mostly because of lack of train crews. And this is just an underinvestment in engineer recruiting and training over the past 10 years, which has led to a net loss of nearly 50 engineers leaving NJT. Recently, though, the number of unexcused absences has risen beyond what the agency builds into its contingency planning. As a result, train cancellations have become unpredictable. That morning, I mean, it's just crazy. That morning, they wake up, it's a beautiful day, and say, "I'm going to the beach," and show up and run the train that I'm supposed to run, he said. Engineers have been beaten down for years. They've been bearing the brunt of understandably frustrated commuters. I don't know how in the world does New Jersey let this happen. I really don't know. Alright, Kevin Corbett said his office and Governor Phil Murphy's office had discussions with leaders of the engineers union. Murphy was due to address the situation when he returned from vacation this week. So, looks like people in New Jersey love taking vacations because Governor Phil Murphy is nowhere to be found. Can't make this stuff up. You just can't. Oh boy, anger ratcheted up to a new level yesterday when the air conditioning at Secaucus Transfer Station, Northern New Jersey's largest train station, stopped working. So there was no air conditioning yesterday. What an epic fail. Mary Mika Saklonia told board members today that her regular train trip from Broadway to New York Penn, which costs $270 a month and normally takes about 45 minutes, has been canceled 6 times in the past 3 weeks. She quoted by saying, "Thanks to these delayed issues or cancellations," she said, "I could have flown to Florida." More than 100,000 people ride New Jersey Transit trains to New York Penn daily, directly or via connections. Corbett said 9 new engineers will start work shortly, adding that the train cancellations should decrease as summer vacation season ends, but he added that improvements are going to be gradual because train crews will be still need to finish installing positive train control testing. They need to install it by, of course, the end of this year. So, pretty much, you can't make this stuff up. You just can't. You really can't make this stuff up with New Jersey Transit. And I'm sure tonight, NJTV News, they have an obligation. They need to report on the story. They have to. No excuses. Because if they don't, people in New Jersey are not going to be happy that their news source that they're supposed to rely on, that they publicly fund, is not covering the story. Trust me, I'm going to be watching NJTV News tonight. I will be. So, that's it. That's pretty much your update for today. Well, that's where I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching. Until the next video, take care.